with an open mind and thirst to learn. Success is backed by a strong determination, hard work, and a positive attitude. A very good morning to everyone present here. I, Ganesh Pai, Assistant Professor in Department of Computer Science and Engineering, welcome you all to the AICT-sponsored 6 days short-term training program on machine learning for societal applications, organized by Department of Computer Science and Engineering, PA College of Engineering, Bangalore. To begin with the function, we shall invoke the blessings of Almighty. I now request Professor Muhammad Saifuddin to invoke the blessings by reciting the verses of Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. I seek refuge with Allah from the rejected shaitan. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. الحمد لله رب العالمين. All praises be to Allah, the Lord of the whole universe. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, the most gracious, the most merciful. Maliki Yawmiddin, master of the day of judgment. Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. You alone we worship and you alone we ask for help. Ihdina as-sirat wal-mustaqim. Lead us to the right path. صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم, the path of those upon whom you have bestowed your grace. غير المغضوب عليهم, not in the path of those who have earned your anger. ولا الضالين, and not in the path of those who went astray. Ameen. O Allah, please accept this dua.
Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity to welcome our delegates to the inaugural function of short-term training program. First and foremost, I would like to extend my hearty welcome to Colonel B. Venkat, Director, Faculty Development Cell, AICTE, New Delhi, to the inaugural ceremony of short-term training program. I, on behalf of everyone present here, wholeheartedly welcome the Honorable Chief Guest, Mr. Brijesh Balakrishnan, Senior Vice President and Unit Head, Digital Engineering Services, Director, the Board of Directors, CSS Corp Private Limited, India, to this function. I am honored to welcome the founder of PA Group of Institutions, Guest of Honor, and our Honorable Chairman, Dr. P.A. Ibrahim Haji, PA Education Trust, who has been our motivation for all the events organized in our institute and department. On behalf of all present here, I welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
It gives me immense pleasure to welcome our guest of honor, Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim, Executive Director, PA Education Trust, to this program in his absence, who has been encouraging us in all our activities in the institute. I extend a warm and cordial welcome to our Principal, Dr. Abdul Sharif, Vice Principal, Dr. Ramiz MK, Director Academics, Dr. Sarfraz Hashim, Principals from sister institutions, Director MBA, Heads of various departments, Staff Coordinators of STTP, faculty members of our department and institution, and all participants from various academic institutions and industries. It's my pleasure to welcome our resource persons of this short-term training program, Professor Ashok Rao, Professor and Director, NIE Mysore, Dr. P.S. Hiremat, Professor, KLE College of Engineering, Hubli, Dr. Zayed Ansari, Associate Professor, Aligarh Muslim University, Aligarh, Dr. P. Shivkumara, Professor, Department of Computer Science, University of Malaya, Malaysia, Dr. H.L. Shashireka, Professor, Mangalore University, Mangalore, Dr. Jnani Swaranath Satapathy, Professor, Department of Electronics and Communication Engineering, AJ Institute of Technology, Mangalore, Dr. Gangadhar Bhatt, Professor, Mangalore University, Mangalore, Dr. R. Dinesh, Research Scientist, Samsung R&D, Bangalore, Dr. B.H. Shekhar, Professor, Department of Studies and Research in Computer Science, Mangalore University, Mangalore, and Dr. S. Murali, Professor, Department of Computer Science and Engineering, Maharaja Institute of Technology, and President, Mahara Education Trust, Mysore, to this inaugural program. It is a true pleasure for me to welcome our beloved HOD and convener of STTP, Dr. Sharmila Kumari M, to this function. Madam, I request you to present a brief introduction of the short-term training program.
A very pleasant morning to all. Respected chief guest and inaugurator of this program, a dynamic technologist and business leader, Mr. Brijesh Balakrishnan, guest of honor, Dr. P.A. Ibrahim Haji, Honorable Chairman of P. Education Trust, Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim, Executive Director, P. Education Trust, President of today's inaugural event, Dr. Abdul Sharif, the Principal of our college, and Vice Principal Dr. Ramesh M.K., members of Advisory Committee, coordinators, my fellow colleagues, and dear participants. It's a pleasure for us to ignite this 6-day short-term training program on machine learning for societal applications in our institution. With the financial support from AICTE, New Delhi, and administrative support from our institution, we have been able to organize this training program. On this occasion, I would like to remember the support provided by Colonel Venkat, the Director of STTP program, AICTE, New Delhi. This program aims to provide basic knowledge in the field of machine learning and explore many applications through hands-on sessions by the experts in the field. As we all know that machine learning is an area of computational science that focuses on analyzing and interpreting patterns and structures in data to enable learning, reasoning, and decision making outside of human interaction. We know machine learning has applications in all kinds of industries, including manufacturing, retail, healthcare, travel and hospitality, financial services, etc. Due to the remarkable success of machine learning techniques in scientific and engineering domain, we are also motivated to explore machine learning based video analytics in our daily life for better living. Deep video analytics is becoming an emerging research area in the field of machine learning. Upon witnessing this rapid development in the field of machine learning and deep learning, it is the high time to have a manpower to develop machine learning based technologies and understanding the fundamentals behind machine learning and deep learning. Hence, this STTP is planned to provide the basics of machine learning, which includes clustering and classification techniques, hands-on session considering state-of-the-art research-oriented problems, mathematics behind artificial neural networks and deep learning, and implementations of neural network and deep learning algorithms. Text detection in 3D video, text analytics using NLP by considering some of the well-known problems. Apart from this, it is also planned to provide an insight into feature engineering and finally covering research avenues in machine learning domain. We have planned to provide hands-on sessions using Python programming language considering various applications. I hope you will carry the best from this program, and I assure you that you will enjoy the sessions by the renowned academicians, industrialists, and excited researchers. On the other hand, we need your kind cooperation to the success of this event. You are requested to be online well in time to attend the sessions and provide online feedback at the end of the day on each sessions for better planning. The overall feedback and online test is scheduled on final day. Our technical team is with you for any kind of technical support. Enjoy the days all through and take away the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Madam. I now request our Honorable Chairman, Dr. P.A. Ibrahim Haji, to address our audience. Over to you, Chairman, sir.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Good morning to one and all of you, especially Mr. Brijesh Balakrishnan, Senior Vice President and Unit Head, Digital Engineering Services and Director, CSS Corp Private Limited. Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim, Executive Director, PA Education Trust, and Dr. Abdul Sharif, Principal, PA College of Engineering, and other dignitaries, officers of AICTE, faculty members, and all other participants throughout the country. I am glad that faculty members across India are striving to update their knowledge on advanced subjects of technology through conferences, workshops, and training programs. In this context, It is my pleasure to express gratitude to AICTE, which has given an opportunity to our institute to conduct 6 days short-term training program on machine learning for societal applications from 21st December 2020 to 26th December. Machine learning and artificial intelligence is the buzzword, and it is applied everywhere in day-to-day life. The value of machine learning technology has been recognized by companies across several industries that deal with huge volumes of data. By leveraging insights obtained from this data, companies are able to work in an efficient manner to control costs as well as get an edge over the competitors. Using machine learning technology, companies in the financial sector are able to identify key insights in financial data as well as prevent any occurrences of financial fraud. In healthcare sector, machine learning technology is used to provide real-time patient information such as overall health condition, heartbeat, blood pressure, and other vital parameters. Machine learning technology used extensively in healthcare in COVID-19 pandemic situation. In the marketing sector, it is used to analyze the purchase history of their customers and make personalized product recommendations for their next purchase. Also, machine learning helps transportation companies to predict potential problems that could arise on certain routes and accordingly advise their customers to opt for a different route. These are the few examples wherein machine learning technology is being used. Hence, Computer Science Engineering Department in association with AICTE apply chosen topic of machine learning for societal applications. I would like to mention that PA College of Engineering is committed to provide a quality education along with imparting life skills to the people belonging to the rural areas and particularly encourages the rural background students for higher studies. PACE organizes many skill development programs like student workshops, hands-on training to the students, and depute the faculty members to faculty development program to update their knowledge to advanced technology like artificial intelligence, data mining, blockchain, and robotics technology, etc. To fulfill the vision to make PACE as a center of evolution for excellence in technological management and research education. PA College of Engineering, PACE Mangalore, is an institution of higher learning that offers undergraduate programs in various branches of engineering and postgraduate and doctoral programs, etc. PACE has established 2 incubation centers, namely NAIN Incubation Center in association with KTech, Government of Karnataka, and PACE MSME in association with Government of India to nurture the students' innovative ideas and to make their ideas into reality in the form of prototype and finally to end up in startup. I am pleased to record that 10 students' projects are approved by NAIN Incubation Center and sanctioned 30 lakhs rupees for this academic year, and students have started to work on approved projects along with their studies. In the recent days, we have witnessed the excessive application of machine learning based tools in all walks of our life for better living. In this context, our faculty succeeded in getting funds from AICTE to provide training on the latest scientific and engineering approaches such as artificial intelligence and machine learning. I take this opportunity to thank AICTE for having provided funds to organize this training program. I congratulate Professor M. Sharmila Kumari, Head of the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, and her team for organizing this well-planned 6 days training program on the topic and invited the resource persons on as drawn from industry, academia, and the institutes of national importance. I am happy to record that this AICTE-sponsored STTP has attracted 200 plus participants across the country. I am sure that all the participants will take the benefit of this STTP to enhance their knowledge and share the same with the students. It is needless to mention that many other faculty members of all the engineering branches of PACE involved in engaging in either research or generating funds from different agencies through research projects. And I wish to see our faculty members to continue this passion towards sharing their expertise by organizing workshops, conferences, training programs, hackathons, and student-oriented events. With these few words, I conclude my remarks with my best wishes to you all. And I once again thank the AICTE authorities and the Government of India for offering us this splendid platform. Thank you very much. Thank you to one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and motivational words. We are honored by your kind and powerful words of wisdom. Thank you. I now request Dr. Sharmila Kumari to introduce our today's program chief guest, Mr. Brijesh Balakrishnan. Over to Dr. Sharmila Kumari.
We shall now move on to inauguration of this program. We have planned to inaugurate this program by a dynamic technologist and business leader, motivator for young minds, Mr. Brijesh Balakrishnan, a senior vice president and unit head, digital engineering services, the director, the board of directors, CSS Corp Private Limited, India. Mr. Brijesh is a technologist turned business leader with 22 years of success in strategizing, managing and leading IT organizations at the brink of change, divestiture, merger and growth. He has expertise in managing large P&L business units, global IT delivery and operations, global talent acquisition, strategic technology and application management, designing IT blueprint and roadmap, security compliance, budget management and cost control, IT governance and industry best practices. He is a people's leader with an impeccable track record in nurturing high-performance teams across the globe. Mr. Brijesh is having experience in geographies of USA, Japan, Europe, Singapore and India. He is also an industry speaker at WF, NASCOM, government and academia events. He is the proud alumni of Columbia Business School and Stanford Business School. He is currently working as Senior Vice President and Unit Head Digital Engineering Services. He also serves as the Director, the Board of Directors, CSS Corp Private Limited, India. Previously, he served as Associate Vice President and Delivery Head at Infosys. He obtained his BTech in Electronics and Communication, Government Engineering College, Kannur, MBA in Finance from Symbiosis, Pune, Executive Management in Strategy from Columbia Business School, Leadership Excellence Program from Stanford Business School, and Leadership Program on Executing Growth Strategies from Wharton Business School. We are proud to have Mr. Brijesh with us to inaugurate this event with his inaugural remarks. Sir, it is truly an honor for us on behalf of PA College of Engineering and Department of Computer Science and Engineering. I once again cordially invite you to this program and I request you to give inaugural remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Sharmila, and thank you, Dr. Ibrahim, and other faculty and members of the PA College of Engineering. It's my neighborhood college, so it's always dear to me. I also warm welcome to all the delegates. I can see about 84 participants, close to about 100 participants, and I'm assuming that they're from all over the country. And Madam told me that these are all professors and research students. See, again, I think I will just try to give you a business perspective of where this is to, because I think I looked at your agenda and for the next 6 days, and it's really packed with the core of machine learning and AI and the different fields of applications and all that. So I thought as a introduction into this world, it'll be given better that I give a business perspective, because I'm a technologist, but then because we were there in the very early stages of IT, we only did coding for a couple of years, and then we turned into the business side of things. And I'm passionate about how technology changes business. So now I just wanted to give you an idea about, see, end of the day, the world is run by the large organizations, and they actually dictate the state of how things should happen. So this is about 100 years behind. About 100 years back, if you look at the companies that dominated the world are actually the largest companies by market asset. If you see, almost everything about 100 years back, the biggest one were steel, because steel was the one that was powering the world about 100 years back. You had the entire industrial revolution started in, and this is early 1900, right? And you can think about this, the steel powered almost the entire industry of the world. The automobiles had started in a big way, Ford and General Motors and all of that. And the entire industry was all powered by steel. And then oil and gas was actually just starting to pick up. And then there was mining, food, telecom, chemicals, autos, and rubber and textiles. So this is how the world looked about 100 years back. And then I just wanted to compare between 100 to 100 years. So, and this is how the world looks 3 years back in 2017. And if you really see, the entire world has changed in 100 years. The largest firms, the largest of them are tech companies. The second one is financial services, and the third one is medical. Of course, the fourth one is conglomerates, because you'll have almost everything done together. Telecom, and then you look at steel is almost gone out of the play, and oil and gas is actually number 2. In fact, if I would have taken a midpoint, which was about 1960s or 70s and all of that, oil would be number 1, right? Because we all know about how the entire oil used to dominate the world. So it was steel, and then oil, and then it is technology, right? And financial services and medical. Medical is also really picked up. If you and these are, and let me just look at this comparison, right? Between 1917 and 2017, the difference in the world. So it used to be steel, oil, mining, and it's technology, financial services, and medicine, right? The telecoms were always there. The chemicals will also be there. The retail, food, and all of that will also be there, right? But this is a big change that has happened in the world, and because and another thing that you see is it's actually millions have become billions, because of course the scale has become from million to billion. The dollar and all the currencies would have appreciated over time, and then of course the scale of business is much larger. But it's quite strange that in 100 years a million became a billion. But take that out, because you still get a comparative picture of it. Yeah. Now I'm just talking about in the 1950s, right? And this is just the US part of the world. But look at the companies in the 1950s that were massive. So General Motors, which is the largest car producer of the world, and this is steel, and this is coming out of World War. The world was just expanding. US, in fact, was doing all these 8-lane highways, bridges, and they made almost every household person to buy a car or a second car kind of stuff. And General Motors is really powering in the US and in the rest of the world. The automobile was the biggest one, right? ExxonMobil, which is the gas company, that was 2, US Steel, again Steel, Ford, General Electric, Chrysler, and again a car company, Swift and Company, Armor, either a steel or a oil company. And there is DuPont, which was into multiple things. Mobil is another oil company. Amoco, AT&T is that telecom company. So this is what it was in 1950s. Now look at 1970s, and this is when I said that the oil actually started to dominate in the 1970s. So ExxonMobil became the largest one. General Motors was still there, but Texaco, another oil company, Mobil is another oil company, Chevron, another oil company, Gulf Oil. You look at this, the world is dominated by either an automobile or a gas company. And then, of course, IBM was one of the only technology players in that game. But then IBM was, at this point of time, doing all with their mainframe, which is the hardware part of it, right? Now, then I looked at the world in 2000. Now, General Electric, because the General Electric, this is the Jack Welch General Electric, wherein he almost rewrote the company. And they were not just, they were actually a conglomerate. So they started as an electric company, but then they were into banking, they were into finance, they were into insurance, they were almost into medical equipment and almost everything. That was the biggest company of the world. Cisco was massive then. ExxonMobil, Pfizer, the healthcare, Microsoft, Walmart was big, Citi Group, and this is how it was in 2000. And this is how it is today, right? Now, these are extremely important. Now, just look at this. This is as of today. This is today's world view of the largest companies of the world. So, number 1 is Apple. Number 2, Saudi Aramco just became bigger because they got listed and they became the second largest company of the world. Then you look at it: Microsoft, Amazon, Google or Alphabet, Facebook, Tencent. Anyone knows Tencent? Tencent is actually a subsidiary of Alibaba on the technology front of it, which does entirely the technology part of it. And then it was Alibaba, then Tesla. So if you really look at the first 9 companies, all of them are technology powered, except one, Saudi Aramco. There's no other gas, oil, steel, or anything in the world. And this is just because they got listed, and Saudi, of course, was the largest oil part of the world, and they only got listed. But just look at where the world stands today, right? And I really want to hear from people. So what is actually powering these companies today? You know, this is today's world, and this is the largest companies of the world. So if you take that, and I don't know if you're aware of Hathaway, this is the financial company, again does investments in all the other companies. So you can, this is actually like a stock broking one. So they're massive, but you can actually take them off. So because it's not into one particular industry, but it is financial services. But if you take the first 9 ones, what's the backbone of these 9 companies?
Technology driven with data.
Yeah, I'm not just talking about technology companies here, right? I'm talking about the largest companies of the world. And of the largest companies of the world, of the 9 companies, 8 of them are companies. See, none of these are a hardware provider. So Apple does hardware, but actually the reason why they are there is not because they make phones, right? For that matter, Samsung and let's say the Oppo and the OnePlus and HTC and Huawei and all of them make far more phones than an Apple, right? And in fact, they sell it for a much lower price. But then Apple is not for the hardware, right? Apple is known because of the ecosystem of software driven by data and analytics, and not specifically using the word machine learning because I want to drive it there. But then that's why Apple is there, right? Microsoft, it used to be the Windows people, but no more, right? Now they are there because of the cloud, the Azure, the AI part they have brought in there. Amazon is not, you can't find Walmart at all, right? Walmart is nowhere there, even though they are the largest retailer in the world. they're not there in the market capitalization because people don't have high hopes on them in the coming future, right? Amazon is not Amazon is not there because it's a retailer. Amazon is there because it's an intelligent retailer. It actually makes decisions, or it forces people to buy only from there, right? Google, because Google is one of those companies that actually pioneered the whole thing about what an intelligence about data, derivations of data can be, right? Facebook also, right? You're not there just to meet your friends, but the power of photo tagging, the power of recommendations, the power of connecting people, the power of actually tracking you and then telling everything about you is why it is there, right? No different is Tencent, and Alibaba is actually a Amazon of China. So it does the exact same thing. And then there is Tesla. Now, and I can talk about it a bit, but Tesla is something that very recently got onto this big league of the companies in the world, right? And look at the fun part of it. Do you know how much cars do Tesla make in a year? So they just make 4 lakh cars in a year, and the cars are almost priced similar to a lot of other cars. Now, any idea how many cars do Toyota make? It's not double, it's not triple, it's not 4 times. It's actually 20 times. So Toyota alone makes about 1 crore cars in a year, right? Now, so Tesla makes 4 lakh, Toyota makes 1 crore. Yeah. So Tesla makes just 4% of the cars that Toyota make. Now, the second largest car producer is Volkswagen. Volkswagen does about 1 crore, right? And the market capitalization of Toyota today is about 210 billion, right? The market capitalization of Volkswagen is about 75 billion. Then comes General Motors, Hyundai, Ford, and then the list goes on, right? Now, if you add the market capitalization of all of those top 20, and Tesla again doesn't come in the top 20 car manufacturers in the world. Tesla doesn't come because they only make 4 lakh cars, whereas all the big guys are making crores and many lakhs of cars in a year, right? Now, if you add the market capitalization of all the car makers in the world, that market capitalization amount is less than what Tesla alone does it. Tesla today is at 650 billion. Yeah, by just making 4% of what Toyota makes and hardly a percentage of what anyone else makes. And that's why I said Tesla is not even in the top 20 car producers in the world. But then their market cap is more than everyone else combined together. And what powers Tesla? Actually, Tesla is, so it's not electric car alone, right? Because for that matter, Toyota, and I took the example of Toyota because Toyota has this great electric car called Prius. In fact, if anyone was in the US in the early 2000s and the 2010 to 20 part of it, they almost revolutionized the car industry there because they came up with this Prius electric car. And then so did General Motors and Ford and Volkswagen and Nissan and almost everyone. They all came out with electric cars, right? Now, Tesla is also called an electric car, but in fact, the Toyota might make more electric cars than Tesla, right? But then Toyota is nowhere there in terms of what the world is moving towards. And the pure difference is the way in which Tesla uses software, and what powers Tesla is the whole AI ML engine of it, of learning every bit of interaction, every journey, and then communicating with the entire world. In fact, every car of Tesla is connected to each other, and there is constant updates on what each car is learning on the road while it's driving, right? And that no one has been able to crack it as much as Tesla, and that's the only reason why Tesla is there. The same is the case with why an Amazon is there. Amazon is where it is today, or an Apple is where it is today, because Apple, if you really look at it, and Apple will sell a phone for 1 lakh, and if you take a Samsung or a HTC or a OnePlus, if you take the hardware breakdown into that, they will actually sell it for 1/3 or 1/4 of that price. But they are there because of that whole ecosystem, and the ecosystem driven by data and intelligence that they are able to bring in, right? Now, no time has this happened, and these are like 5 or 6 companies, and Netflix is another one. They're not become the top 10. That's why it didn't appear in the list. But then the Netflix thing, right? The Netflix thing, end of the day, it is only about video streaming, and that is not new to anyone, right? There are movies made, and then there are TV serials made, there are documentaries made. That is there. The film industry and the documentary industry has been there for about 1,000 years, 100 years plus. But Netflix changed it because it decides on what you should watch. It tells you on what you should watch, and that's why people are there in Netflix, right? Not because they stream a favorite movie alone, but because if you're really, really hooked on, it is going to decide what you should be watching, its recommendations, its entire thing of what you like, what you dislike, and it will really tell you what to do about, right? And then the other companies that you can guess about, right? So essentially, this is one of those times when we can really find that a technology research that used to happen when I did engineering in my 90s, and then AI, ML was even the entire branch of AI itself was really, really an academic matter alone, right? In 20 years, it's become mainstream. It's become spread all over, and it is not that it is sold as AI, right? The beauty is that you can see AI and ML in the largest companies, in the largest product, in the largest entities that gets consumed in the world, is all there because of AI and ML, right? The change from an academic one into a pure business one, and that is really powering, dominating, and influencing the world in such a short span, which is almost 20 years, right? The 2000s is when this whole thing came in, right? Now, according to me, there are 2 things, or in fact 3 things that changed it in the last few years, for that matter, right? One is the whole thing is about the data part of it, right? So because when can you make intelligent decisions? You can make intelligent decisions if there is data, right? And the amount of data has to be like unlimited, right? So only in the last 5 years or so has data, because earlier what was data? Data was only structured things that were stored in a database, right? In the computer part alone, right? Unstructured data, all of that was never to be consumed or interpreted, right? It took so much of time. Otherwise you will have an RDBMS table where you put in data, and that was your only data. So what you could derive out of that data was very, very limited. Now in the last 5 years, the amount of data is infinite. So you have collected the data, but then what you need next is about the computation power to process data, because data can sit there, but then you have to derive intelligence out of it. Then you need technologies that are available to process data, because I used to work a lot of time at Apple, and I remember in the early 2000s and all of that, when they would have those whole bad jobs running in the night. Let's say for them, one day's sale to be computed, it will take about a couple of hours. So the bad jobs used to run in the night. In the morning is when today it's there in a couple of seconds, or maybe even less than a second. It's available, right? So from hours to milliseconds, the way to process the data, the way to interpret the data, and then today your structured data is very less. What's really valuable is your unstructured data, the pics, the likes, the comments, the logs, everything is a data that you can process, right? So what's really changed in the last 20 years, and then primarily in the last 5 years, right, is this whole data to be interpreted, analyzed, and derive intelligence out of it, right? Then of course there is the open source community that keep keep powering this, and then of course, after a while they get merged or aligned or got bought over by another larger company, but then the community is so strong. And then the other big thing is also that end of the day, now it's going back to the basics of the algorithm powers the entire thing, right? The specific programming language or technology and all of that, they're all become agnostic. What's important now is what's your primary um, thought, the whole algorithm, which is the brain power of what you should be doing, is what powers it, right? So I'll summarize it here, which is if you really look in the last 300 years, and we should be really proud of what we are able to witness. So if you really look at the first industrial revolution, which happened about 300 years back, it was all about steam and coal, right? Because and that was the most important thing. And steam and coal, the steam actually powered the ships. The ships could travel between continents, and that's how the whole the European countries almost dominated the entire world, because that's what they had in hand. Then about 150, 200 years back, electricity, US became the large force because of electricity, and then the steel. Because that powered the world, that powered the second industrial revolution, that powered large scale industries to be set up in the late 1800s and the early 1900s. The whole industrial revolution getting powered by electricity, steel, and then steel led to the auto industry and other industries kind of stuff, right? And then came the oil. So the big discovery in the 1970s, 60s kind of stuff. The whole Middle East economy starting to boom, and so do many other countries. Completely came from a very different situation. Was the oil part of it. Then, of course, there was this electronics that got in. But then we are fortunate to actually witness, and that's why I said that just look at the companies that were there 10 years back, right? They were all steel and oil companies, and just look at the companies that are today the most important ones. It is all powered by data. So it's really fortunate that we are part of a journey wherein we can witness about technology, and that too the whole AI ML is changing the world, is actually dominating the world. It'll decide the world. Now, how long, you never know, right? Because it's not that the old steel and coal and electricity companies are no more that valuable, right? Even telecom used to dominate about 30-40 years back. Today, the telecom companies, though they are large in thing, they hardly make any profit. Today, the largest money, the aspiration and everything is around this whole data, which is led by this whole AIML part of it. So I don't think you have a better time to be part of this journey, and all of you being the torch bearers, front runners, powering the next generation of people. I think it's a fabulous responsibility that each of you have, and it's a very exciting journey that we are all in, especially in the next couple of years. And if you really look at it, because it's India as a country, it's still not got utilized fully on the data part of it, right? And for that matter, if you really look at why Reliance is big on or why almost everyone in the world, the Facebook, the Amazon, the Intel, Microsoft, almost everyone is investing in Reliance Jio, is not because they have the phone connections. It is because it is the data of the consumers, right? And that the Indian journey of data, AIML led stuff is just about to start. So might be about COVID would have changed few things, but the next 5-10 years, that's another explosion that's going to come in here. So extremely not just relevant, but actually you're all part of something that's deciding what. So it's like you have the gold mine with you and the knowledge to decide how the world and the country is going to shape up in the next few years and decades ahead of you, right? So with that, I'll stop it. Very happy to be part of this.
Thank you, sir, for gracing us with your knowledge and experience on the current market trends. It was really an informative session. We are deeply honored to have you as our chief guest to this function. Thank you. Due to some commitments, our Executive Director, Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim, could not make it to the program, but he has shared his video addressing our audience. Now, we would like to play our Executive Director's address to our audience.
Good morning. It gives me immense pleasure to share that AICTE has given this institute an opportunity to conduct a 6-day short-term training program on machine learning for societal applications, which is scheduled to be held from the 21st of December to the 26th of December. Our institute aims to provide quality education to the rural masses, and we have been able to achieve this within a short span of time. Under the umbrella of the PA Educational Trust, we have courses for engineering, pharmacy, physiotherapy, degree, postgraduate courses, and diploma courses. I am happy to note that AICTE has given generous grants to conduct this event, which is a one-of-a-kind, state-of-the-art knowledge enrichment program. In these days, we have seen an explosive growth in the field of machine learning and artificial intelligence, which applies in many walks of our lives. Be it a surveillance system, home automation, business management, AI and ML are there to help manage all this and more. The course coordinator, as well as the head of the Department for Computer Science Engineering, has meticulously planned this 6 days event, which include resource persons of eminence. In the course of discussion with experts, I could make out that this AI and ML program is of great significance. I am from the business management field, but I have seen the role of machine learning in many sectors, including education institution management. I also learned that there is an excellent response from all parts of the country to participate in the 6-day workshop. I am sure you will carry the best from this workshop. I assure you that you will have an excellent session covering the latest topics in the domain of machine learning, which would be useful in your career too. The resource persons are drawn from academia as well as industry. Hands-on sessions are planned, and hence you will definitely get the best from this program. With these few words, I conclude my remarks and also wish the participants pleasant days during the workshop. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your words of inspiration. This will inspire us to invest more efforts to attain our goal. Thank you. I now request Dr. Ramiz MK, Vice Principal, to address our participants. Over to Dr. Ramiz MK.
Thank you, Ganesh. Respected Chairman, Dr. P. Ibrahim, Executive Director, Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim, Mr. Brijesh Balakrishnan, who is my childhood classmate and who accepted the invitation to be a chief guest for this function. Thank you, Brijesh, very much. Principal, all the heads of the departments, my colleagues, all the participants from industry and academia all over India who are present here. A very warm welcome to all of you. This topic, machine learning for societal applications. Initially, when Chairman talked about it, he gave a very good description about the applications of machine learning. And Brijesh Balakrishnan, he presented the topic from a business perspective, and he has made us understand that how the system has changed. And previously, the oil companies, they used to be the richest or the largest company, but now we understand the richest person, if you say Jeff Bezos, or the people, Bill Gates, Microsoft, whatever maybe he has mentioned, that how they have become the richest by using technology. And as he mentioned previously, the oil that you get beneath the earth, from the earth, that was the oil, but now you can tell that data is the oil. Data is the oil. So in a humorous mode, one person was telling that the Jio company, Reliance Jio, if you just read it from the right to left, it is OIL, oil. So that is why, as Brajesh has pointed out, many of the richest companies or the biggest companies are now investing in this Jio. And what is the reason also he has mentioned. So last few years, we have seen a lot of emerging technologies. The AI and ML has become familiar. And we also have heard about the blockchain, the data analytics, the virtual reality. And what has happened is, by this pandemic, which has forced many businesses to reduce or suspend operations, affecting their bottom line. On the other side, it has helped to accelerate the development of several emerging technologies. And this is especially true for innovations that reduce human-to-human contacts, automate processes, and increase productivity. Amid this social distancing, people have become more dependent on machines. And we know that this pandemic is basically a game with uncertainty, and we can see this pandemic as a forced opportunity to transform our relationship with uncertainty. So this actually here at this point becomes the role of machine learning or AI, where data is the major source. Artificial intelligence is supposed to contribute a major part of the global economy by 2030. So as professors or teachers from academia, I believe that this course, that is the machine learning for societal applications, we will acquire the knowledge, the know-how from this session from the academia and the industry experts. And we will also help to understand or explore the possibilities where this machine learning and or artificial intelligence can be utilized for humanity in the form of many societal applications. Because of course, in the next future, the use of this artificial intelligence, because Brajesh has explained how it has changed the complete business models in the last 20 years. And now our responsibility is that how best these technologies can be used for many societal applications to solve many societal problems, how this data can be used, how it can be processed, how it can be analyzed, and how best we can give back to the society. So for that, we teachers have got a big role in identifying the problems, the societal problems, and we should be a bridge man in between the problems and the technology, where we use our potential and also the potential of our students and provide solutions to the society. So this topic in this context is very, very relevant, that is machine learning for societal applications. And it has been meticulously planned. Dr. Sharmala Kumari and her team, they were working very hard in the last many days. Basically, this is the second part. Initially also we had a session which was very successful, maybe some 2 months or 3 months back. So I hope the same success for this program, and request all the participants to take the best out of this program and disseminate the knowledge and the expertise what we gain from this program to the stakeholders we meet or we interact. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your words of support and words of confidence. Thank you. I shall now request our beloved principal, Dr. Abdul Sharif, to deliver the presidential remarks. Over to Principal Dr. Abdul Sharif.
Good morning to all dignitaries, participants. At the outset, I would like to thank AICTE for accepting and granting financial assistance for our proposal to conduct 6 days STTP program on machine learning for societal application. This STTP is very beneficial for all the participants, that is the faculty members and research scholars. Knowledge on machine learning for societal application will enhance. I am sure all the participants will use this knowledge for their research as well as to disseminate this knowledge to the students for their project work as well as in their practical application. 6 days workshop will give glimpse on machine learning. All resource persons are well selected by Dr. Sharmila Kumari and her team. I thank Dr. Sharmila Kumari and team, AICTE. I wish success of the workshop. This workshop will benefit you and it will benefit your students at your workplace. With this few words, I will conclude my presidential remark. Thank you, one and all. Thanks, Sharmila Kumari and team once again, and AICT and the management. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir, for your presidential remarks. You have been a strong backbone for us in all the departmental events. We are confident to attain the institute's and department's vision with your constant guidance and support. Thank you. Now we come to the end of the inaugural ceremony. I now request Professor Saifuddin to deliver the vote of thanks.
I hereby pronounce the vote of thanks. I would like to express my profound gratitude to today's chief guest, resource person and program inaugurator, Mr. Brijesh Balakrishnan, Senior Vice President and Unit Head, Digital Engineering Services. We are grateful to you, sir, for your gracious presence with your dynamic and motivating words to all of us. I also would like to thank our beloved chairman, Dr. P.A. Ibrahim Haji, PAET chairman, who is playing a vital role in all the activities of our institution under PAET. Thank you, sir. I take this opportunity to record our gratitude to our Executive Director, Mr. Abdullah Ibrahim, to address the audience for his support and guidance to all of us. And I would like to thank the people behind the success of this program, our beloved principal, vice principal, director academics, principals of sister institution, director MBA, heads of the various departments for their support to conduct this program. We have been fortunate enough to be backed by a team of very motivated and dedicated professors who know their responsibility and are result oriented. I extend my sincere gratitude to staff coordinators, technical committee members, faculty members, technical and supporting staff for their dedication and service. And I also would like to acknowledge my gratitude to our active participant and each and everyone who are involved directly or indirectly to make this event a grand success. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. Here we come to the end of the inaugural ceremony of 6-day short-term training program. I thank all the dignitaries for attending the inaugural ceremony. Thank you, one and all.